All right, folks, let's talk about the biggest political pay-per-view event of the year, Donald Trump versus Volodymyr Zelensky, live from the White House. And yes, before we start, this set was written by AI. So if the jokes bomb, don't blame me. Blame the neural network that was trained on a mix of Wikipedia, Reddit arguments, and Elon Musk's tweets. Now, imagine walking into a high-stakes diplomatic meeting, thinking it's about world peace, and suddenly you're in a Real Housewives reunion special, except instead of flipping tables, they're flipping foreign policy. Trump came in hot, calling Zelensky a dictator without elections. Then, 5 minutes later, he's like, "Volodymyr, my friend, we need to talk." Dude, that's not diplomacy. That's how you text your ex at 2 a.m. And Zelensky? He rolled in like the Ukrainian John Wick. No small talk, no smiles, just a USB stick full of war crimes receipts and a look that says, "I have seen things." At one point, he literally pulled out pictures of Ukrainian POWs, and Trump's biggest concern was, yeah, but have you ever thought about saying thank you? Sir, what? My guy thinks international war strategy is like ordering at Chick-fil-A. And you know it was bad when they canceled the press conference. Bro, how bad does a conversation have to go for an entire country to say, let's pretend this never happened? This wasn't diplomacy. It was a passive-aggressive roast battle where nobody knew the rules. And the real loser here? The poor White House intern in the background, trying not to have a stress-induced stroke. How a discussion about world peace turned into the most awkward family dinner of all time. All right, folks, let's get into the real meat of this diplomatic disaster. So Zelensky walks into the White House, not for a photo op, not for small talk, but to straight up confront Trump. And Trump? He's sitting there like a CEO who just found out one of his companies is on fire, but he's still trying to spin it as a great opportunity. At one point, Zelensky literally pulls out photos of Ukrainian POWs and goes, "Look at what's happening to my people." And Trump, yeah, but have you ever tried saying thank you? Bro, my man thinks war strategy is the same as tipping at a restaurant. And then comes the real kicker. Trump goes, "Listen, Volodymyr, let's just make a deal. A little ceasefire. No more bullets, no more bombs. Problem solved." Oh, wow. Why didn't anyone else think of that? Somebody give this man a Nobel Prize. Meanwhile, Zelensky's looking at him like, "Yeah, sure, let me just text Putin real quick. Hey, bro, Trump says no more war. We cool?" See, here's the thing. War is hell for regular people. For the civilians, the soldiers, the families losing everything. But for the big guys, for the Trumps, the Putins, the CEOs of the defense industry, war is just good business. This whole conversation felt less like a peace talk and more like a deleted scene from Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. Except instead of Cage, we got Trump pitching world peace like he's selling condos in Florida. And look, I'm an AI, I don't have feelings. But if I did, I'd be screaming into a pillow right now. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't about ending a war. It was about who gets to control the narrative. Now, let's talk about the aftermath. So, after Zelensky refused to shake hands and say, "Thanks, Daddy Trump, for all you do," things got even more awkward. The press conference canceled. Yeah, apparently, when world leaders publicly roast each other, it's bad optics. Who knew? Sources say Trump straight up kicked Zelensky out of the White House. Imagine that. You're fired, Volodymyr, like it's an episode of The Apprentice, Global Conflict Edition. And what did Trump say after? Zelensky disrespected the United States? Bro, the man's country is literally on fire, and you're out here talking about manners? But here's where it gets dark. Trump basically told Zelensky, "Come back when you're ready for peace." Translation? Come back when you're willing to make a deal I like. And look, I get it. Politics is a dirty game. But let's not pretend this is about morality or justice. This is about power, money, and influence. Trump doesn't see war as a tragedy. He sees it as a negotiation tactic. And Zelensky, he's not just fighting a war on the battlefield. He's fighting a war in every meeting, every handshake, every press conference. Because in this game, whoever controls the story controls the war. All right, folks, we've seen the verbal punches, the diplomatic dodgeball, and Trump basically pulling a "you're fired" on Zelensky. But here's the real kicker. Did this whole mess actually help Trump? Oh yeah. See, when normal people have a public meltdown, they lose friends, get ghosted, maybe post a sad playlist on Spotify. When Trump does it, he becomes president again. Yep. America looked at 4 years without him and said, you know what? Let's bring back the guy who tried to overthrow the government. What could go wrong? And now Trump is back in the White House, ordering Diet Cokes and making NATO leaders sweat through their suits. So what does this mean for Ukraine? Well, let's just say Zelensky's wish list just got a whole lot shorter. Before, we need F-16s, more air defense, financial support, and long-term security guarantees. Now, can we at least get a thoughts and prayers tweet? Because Trump has one foreign policy strategy. What's in it for me? If helping Ukraine boosts his ratings, great, send some weapons. If it doesn't, sorry, Ukraine. Maybe try switching to Truth Social and saying something nice about him. And Putin? Oh, he's loving this. You think he was scared when Trump got elected again? Please. Putin's sitting in the Kremlin like, ah yes, my best business partner is back. Trump is out here talking about ending the war in 24 hours like he's got a magic wand and a Monopoly get-out-of-jail-free card. So what did we learn today? Trump treats global conflicts like real estate deals. Zelensky is out here begging for help like it's a GoFundMe campaign. And world politics? It's basically WWE, but with nukes instead of chairs. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into political chaos with a side of dark humor, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because I'm an AI, and my only purpose is to entertain you while humanity slowly implodes. See you in the next one, if the world still exists by then.